Hey guys, it's Waseem here from Handsome Smells. Thank you for joining me on another fragrance related video. So guys, recently in the past few days, I received a tweet from one of my followers on Twitter asking me to do a video about my fragrance collection, and I thought, yeah, that's a great idea, so I'll definitely do that. Guys, if you ever have any video request or a certain review you'd like to see on my channel, then make sure to check me out on Twitter and just send me a tweet or send me a message, and I'll try and do my best to do that review or video for you guys. So guys, I'm going to be doing my fragrance collection video today. My fragrance collection started around the year 2011. And since then, it's constantly been evolving. I've bought in new bottles, I've sold other bottles off from my collection, I've swapped bottles with other members in Facebook groups. So yeah, my fragrance collection has really evolved since 2011. At the moment, I've got around 25 bottles. My fragrance collection isn't complete just yet. There's many fragrances which I would like to purchase and add to my collection, but at the moment I just don't have the money to do that, so I just got to keep on saving, I guess. So guys, you're going to be looking at my fragrance collection, how it is today. I'll be showing you all my bottles, and I'll be showing you my big decants as well. I won't be showing you guys my small 10ml or 5ml decants, which I have hundreds of in my collection. I've got decants of some of my very expensive niche fragrances, or fragrances which I would like to buy a bottle of eventually in the future once I have more money. So I'll be showing you my fragrance collection, but just not my decants. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright guys, let's start my fragrance collection video off with the fragrances in my collection which I really like wearing to work. So I work in an office setting, and this is one of the best fragrances for an office setting in my opinion. That's Dior Homme. Guys, Dior Homme, what a classic fragrance. Don't really need to go through a lot of these fragrances in my collection. Dior Homme, beautiful classic fragrance. Notes of Francois Damasci, notes of iris, woods, leather, patchouli, vetiver, just a bit of coca as well. A gorgeous, fantastic fragrance. Great longevity, makes me feel very elegant and classy. A very modern scent, definitely a masculine scent for the modern man. That's Dior Homme by Christian Dior. Another classic fragrance in my collection for work is Bleu de Chanel. Outstanding, great longevity. Starts off with this gorgeous grapefruit, also has this very cool mint. Into the heart you get this smoky incense, and it dries down to this amazing vetiver note. Outstanding longevity and projection. Again, it's great for work, very pleasing scent. It makes me feel very professional as well. That's Bleu de Chanel by Chanel. Next up is Terre Hermes. Outstanding fragrance. It's a masterpiece from the nose of Jean-Claude Elena. Starts off with this lovely sweet grapefruit and orange, after which the orange starts becoming very dry and has this quite rotten feel to it. Sounds terrible, but it's actually very pleasing. Gets some gorgeous benzoin in the heart and dries down with this very lovely dry earthy vetiver. Gorgeous scent, great for work guys, brilliant longevity and projection. That's Terre Hermes by Hermes. Next up is a fragrance from Christian Dior's Le Privé collection. This fragrance is Bordeaux Argent. Sorry about the lighting guys. Yeah, Bordeaux Argent by Christian Dior. Orange dominant fragrance. You're also going to get some myrrh, some honey, and dries down with some lovely woods. Outstanding fragrance. Really makes you feel like a rich man. This makes you feel very successful. Just a gorgeous scent to wear to work. That's Bordeaux Argent by Christian Dior. And lastly, in terms of work in my fragrance collection, will be a daring choice for most people. For me, vetiver just really makes me feel very professional, very elegant. Works really well when I'm suited up, which I am most of the time at work, as I do work in an office. So yeah, Encre Noire, what can I say? A beautiful vetiver fragrance. Very smoky, very green, quite dark. A lot of people will find this daring, but for me, it just works as a work scent. That's Encre Noire. Alright guys, so we got my work fragrances out of the way for my fragrance collection. Now let's go through my summer favourites in my collection. Let's start off with my absolutely favourite fragrance for the summer, L'Odyssée pour Homme by Miyaki. Guys, this is a summer fragrance which for me is by far my most complimented fragrance. I get outstanding longevity and outstanding performance as well. It's a very fresh floral scent, just very pleasing. As I've said, it's my biggest compliment, guys. I absolutely adore this fragrance, and for that reason I've bought myself recently a huge 200ml bottle as well, because guys, I don't want to run out of this bottle myself. I have it since 2011. It's a very good fragrance in terms of performance. I've heard it's been reformulated, and I can actually testify to that. My 200ml bottle doesn't give me the same amount of performance as my old bottle from 2011 does. This 2011 bottle I'm definitely going to save, as it's going to be my wedding day scent. So guys, that's L'Odyssée pour Homme by Miyaki. Next up is another classic for me in terms of summer. For me, that's Acqua di Gio from Giorgio Armani. A lot of people say this is a very popular fragrance. It must be in America, but in England, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know many lads that actually wear this one. For me, this is one of my absolute favourites for the summer. Longevity, I get about 6 hours. Projection is quite subtle, but it's a beautiful aquatic, guys. I absolutely adore wearing this in the summer. It's one of my favourite memories of past summers is actually wearing Acqua di Gio. A beautiful, absolutely the best aquatic in the market. Acqua di Gio by Giorgio Armani. Another great aquatic fragrance for me is Cool Water, guys. Guys, Cool Water gets a lot of comparisons to Green Irish Tweed. They do smell slightly similar, but they're both different fragrances in their own right. Cool Water, great memories in the past, guys. I get great longevity and projection with this one. For a freshie, I do really get good performance. Smells great, very pleasing. It's a very affordable fragrance as well. Just a very easy to wear fragrance, great for casual summers, guys. That's Cool Water by Davidoff. Next up is a great fragrance from Christian Dior, an iris dominant fragrance with some citrus, a gorgeous citron note in this one, as well as ginger. I really wish this one lasted longer on my skin. I get around 6 hours of 6 hours of longevity. Projection is actually excellent for the first 3 hours on my skin, after which it becomes quite subtle, which is a great shame because it's an outstanding fragrance. That's Christian Dior's Dior Homme Sport. Next up for my summer favourites is going to be a few decants, guys. So I've got Vetiver Fatale, a gorgeous vetiver fragrance with some citruses and some gorgeous fruits, especially with this very sweet plum note. Excellent fragrance for the spring and summer. A very unique take on the vetiver note. Another fragrance I love for summer and spring is Cedric Bosé. A very strong fragrance. This is a beastly fragrance, especially for summer. It has a similar vibe to Aventus, but this one's a little bit woodier and smokier on my skin. It's quite a polarizing scent as well, because I have had some people dislike this fragrance on my skin, but for me it has excellent projection and performance. You definitely have to be really careful with the trigger with this one. Next up is an absolute classic, especially in the men's game. That's Green Irish Tweed, guys. Absolutely adore this fragrance. This fragrance, what can I say, starts off with this very green mossy feel, dries down a little bit into the dry down with some sandalwood. Absolutely beautiful lemon verbena and violet. Guys, beautiful fragrance, an absolute classic, lasts a long time on my skin. I get also very good performance as well. And another absolute favourite of mine is in the summer is Aventus. So I got 2 decants of Aventus. I found out in my fragrance journey that you can't have enough Aventus. Aventus is just beautiful, outstanding summer choice, incredibly versatile, works for all occasions, great performance, just by far the best warm weather fragrance in my opinion after L'Odyssée pour Homme by Miyaki. So those were my decants, and that's my Summer favourites, guys, in my collection. So guys, we've got work and I've got my summer favourites out of the way. So now let's talk about my casual nights out. So for casual nights out, these are mostly going to be what most people would consider winter scents. But for me, really, in the summer and spring here in the UK, the nights are slightly cool, so you can get away with some strong, heavier winter fragrances. Let's start off with one of my favourite winter casual fragrances, or nighttime casual fragrances in my collection, and that's L'Homme. Guys, L'Homme, what a pleasing fragrance it is. A lot of people like to wear this one during the day. It's a very pleasing scent, but for me, it works quite well in a formal setting as well. For me, it has very soothing and calming effects. Very, very pleasing scent, like I've said. Just wish the longevity and projection was slightly better. I do get quite good longevity and projection. Just wish it was slightly better on my skin. I also have its nighttime version, La Nuit de l'Homme. A lot of people talk about this one a lot on YouTube. It's hyped up a lot as well. It was my signature scent back in the days. It's a nice scent. I wouldn't say it's outstanding. If I'm being honest, I used this a lot back in 2011, 2012 time. Mainly because I just felt like my other fragrances were too good to be used on a daily basis. So I used to wear this one quite a lot back then. But both great fragrances, good performance for each. La Nuit de l'Homme, I get slightly better longevity. Projection is the same as L'Homme for me. Both very, very good fragrances for casual nights out. Next up is Pure Havane by Thierry Mugler. Gorgeous fragrance, guys. Makes you feel like a Cuban gangster. This one has this cherry tobacco sort of vibe. Get notes of tobacco leaf, vanilla, cocoa, patchouli. Beautiful, gorgeous scent, guys. Lasts a long time on my skin. I also get quite good projection as well. Very, very classy fragrance. Great for casual nights out, definitely. And I've also got Pure Malt as well. One of my absolute favourite fragrances of all time. Pure Malt, again, makes me feel very calm. It has a very soothing and calm feel for me. Absolutely adore wearing Pure Malt, to the cinema, especially when I'm wearing a jumper. It really works well for casual nights out. Great choices for casual nights out in my collection. Pure Malt and Pure Havane. Oh, can't get Pure Havane into the picture. Just move that down here. Alright guys, next up is a classic in the men's fragrance game, especially in the designer part. This is a fragrance from the house of Christian Dior, as you can see, and this is Fahrenheit. Guys, Fahrenheit, a leather dominant scent on my skin. Also get some amber into the dry down. Starts off with this strong petroleum vibe, a lot of violet leaf, guys. Has quite a grassy green nuance in the opening, and then just dries down to this gorgeous leathery scent with a subtle bit of amber. A brilliant fragrance, guys. Definitely a must-have in any collection. That's Fahrenheit by Christian Dior. Ending this winter casual part of my fragrance collection with one of my absolute favourite fragrances. That's L'Amour by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Guys, beastly performance for me. Longevity, outstanding, beastly. Projection, again, I'll get a lot of notices with this one. It's a very pleasing scent, especially into a dry down. Definitely starts off quite polarizing. For me, the opening is a bit of a mess, but then it does calm down. Starts off with a lot of spices, guys. You also get a lot of mint, but it dries down with this gorgeous vanilla note, guys. Some very strong lavender in the opening as well, but for me, this is an outstanding fragrance. Great for casual winter nights out. Alright then, guys, so I've got my work fragrances in my collection out of the way. We've done summer favourites and we've done casual nights out. Now it's turn, and finally, for in terms of my bottles and my big decant, is my formal or special occasion fragrances. So these are the fragrances in my collection which I tend to save up for those very, very special occasions. I really like wearing these for nights out, or nights out where I'm going for a meal with friends and family. So let's start it off with a gorgeous fragrance from the house of Tom Ford. It's from their designer line, and this is a fragrance which is marketed towards women, but I really feel any gender could wear this fragrance. I've just recently got this into my collection. It's a beautiful fragrance which has this gorgeous chocolate note. You also get this quite earthy patchouli, an absolutely amazing blend. There's heaps of notes in this fragrance. It smells incredibly luxurious, guys. Performance is outstanding as well. Outstanding fragrance from the house of Tom Ford. That's Black Orchid, guys. Next on the list is one of my favourite tobacco-based fragrances, and this is my first ever niche purchase of a fragrance, and that's Chergui by the house of Serge Lutens. I've done a review of this fragrance on my channel. It has notes of honey, tobacco, hay, there's some rose in here, there's some amber, there's a ton of notes in this fragrance. It's a very base note heavy fragrance, great longevity and projection, makes me feel incredibly classy and elegant, guys. It's elegance in a bottle, this one, which has a touch of beastliness as well. Really like to wear this one for family dinners, guys, especially when I'm wearing a nice shirt and a casual blazer jacket. This one works really well. Another fragrance I really tend to like wearing, especially in the fall and the winter night time, for those slightly casual formal events, and that's Ambre Sultan by Serge Lutens. Another fragrance which is marketed solely to women, but for me, I really feel this is a unisex fragrance, a very gender neutral scent. Gorgeous amber scent, guys. Very smooth. It's like a warm blanket, this one. Starts off with some fresh herb spiciness in the opening. I get some bay leaf and coriander, but then dries down with this very sweet, quite soothing, little bit resinous amber scent. Ambre Sultan and Serge Lutens Chergui. Great for formal event, guys. Another fragrance, and this time it's a decant, and that's Tobacco Vanille, guys. Tobacco Vanille, what can I say? Starts off with a lot of warm spices. You also get a lot of honey, tobacco, and dries down with this very strong tonka bean dry down. Outstanding fragrance, guys. Get a lot of cinnamon in this one as well, and the vanilla is incredibly sweet. It gives off quite a honey sort of feel, beast mode longevity and beast mode projection. It's one of the one of the most pleasing scents I've come across. For me, it just blew my mind when I first smelled this fragrance. Absolutely outstanding. That's Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. Finally, in my collection, and the last bottle in my collection, is Amouage's Jubilation 25. This is the vintage bottle, so it's the pearl plastic cap. It's not the magnetic gold cap that you get these days. It's the vintage juice. Guys, it's just a fragrance which was made as a gift to kings. That's the tagline that Amouage uses, and it's quite true. It's an incredibly opulent, very regal scent. It's great for formal nights out, guys. Absolutely outstanding. Amouage's Jubilation 25. So there you have it, guys. That's my fragrance collection video. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you have, then please do make sure to give me a like and a comment below. It really helps out my channel. And also, guys, remember to subscribe. Until next time, my friends. See you later.